Hey guys, yeah, this is being done uncut, unscripted, on the fly. But I wanted to come on here and kind of give my thoughts on Sonic SatAM. Now, it's ironic that two videos that I saw over the past week are focused and dedicated to Sonic SatAM. The first one was RobTheWonderful's latest cartoon clip show. Now, the timing for that is kind of coincidental and ironic, seeing as though the Sonic movie just came out. But obviously Rob is a fan of the show because he did give it a positive review. Now, from Rob's video, one of the recommended videos, that's the one I'm looking for. One of the recommended videos that was on the side was a very in-depth documentary by NezumiVA, that's N-E-Z-U-M, NezumiVA, and their take on Sonic SatAM as a fan, you know, from its history, its history, its overall history, you know, conception, how it came about, things like that. And I really enjoyed it. I recommend you guys check it out as well. The title of it was something along the lines of Sonic the Hedgehog SatAM was super woke. Like, it was basically the overall message that NezumiVA was getting at was Sonic SatAM was ahead of its time when it came to what it was showcasing and what it was telling as a story or as a show. So I decided, since I'm no stranger to Sonic SatAM, that once again I should give my own perspective as a fan of how much it meant to me. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so my history with Sonic SatAM is kind of very similar to a lot of people's history. You see, I was a fan of Sonic when the franchise first began. Unfortunately, me and my family never owned a Sega Genesis, so we had to go to my cousin's house to play the Sega Genesis anytime we were around the area. All because we wanted to play the Sonic game. Now, with that said, when the announcement came out that Sonic SatAM was going to be happening, I was all for it. Now, I had heard about Sonic becoming an animated series around the same time I heard of the other Sonic series. I think the news was you were getting two Sonic cartoons, one in syndication and one on Saturday mornings. Now, when I first heard about, you know, ABC being given the option to go with the Adventures cartoon and turning it down for something that still had Sonic but was a little bit more in tune with the Saturday morning, I guess you could say, environment at that time. When I first heard about that, I'm not really surprised ABC and the people in charge at that time turned it down. I mean, the original plan was to go 65 episodes with that, I think, even when it came to ABC. So, you know, thankfully they didn't go that route, and instead they went the Sonic SatAM route of the 13 episodes a season route, if you know what I mean. 26 episodes in total. Now, when I first watched the series, of course, like a lot of people, I saw the series on the TGIF Saturday morning preview special they did the night before the series premiered. That, of course, I think was hosted, at the time, by the cast of Hanging with Mr. Cooper. So, I saw the sneak peek for that, and the episode that they used as a sneak peek was the very same episode they used the morning before. Now, I want to respectfully correct NezumiVA, Rob the Wonderful, and anybody else that's been getting this incorrect. Because you see, the episode I saw that morning, on the first Saturday it debuted on, was not Sonic Boom. It was Super Sonic. That was the episode. Now, unless they did back-to-back episodes and I missed Sonic Boom before Super Sonic, I can understand that. But as far as I know, the first episode I saw And I even looked up the lineup and everything, because one of the things I'd like to do as a kid was read the TV guide. I noticed that basically it was just one episode of Sonic and that was it. And that episode that I saw was Supersonic. So again, I mention this with all due respect to anybody that's probably been getting it wrong. I mean, I can understand Sonic Boom probably being the first episode you would see after the initial 13 episode run was done for the first season. I can understand that. And yes, one thing a lot of people do get correct, the pilot episode was actually the last episode of season 1. So anytime that came on, then you knew you were going to go into reruns. Now, for me as a fan, my history watching it initially is kind of up and down. Because I remember trying to watch the first few episodes, but here's the thing. Me and my family were living in Kansas at that time, and we were on our way back to California. Basically, long story short, my family, or at least my fellow siblings, my sisters, if you will, were not too thrilled with the atmosphere or the choice of home that we got. Long story short, my dad thought he had a home set up for us in Topeka, Kansas. That turned out to be wrong, even though it was a nice house. Basically, my dad got ripped off because he thought he was paying off the right people to, rebuild the house, reconstruct it, stuff like that. And he found out later on that they were just con artists, or they were rip-off artists, and they took him for his money. So we ended up back at a house that we were in for about 24 hours the day before, or the year before, I should say. We ended up back at that house for the following 6 months in 1993. I think it was from March to October of 1993. Anyway, it was around that time, from September and October, that I tried my best to watch Sonic SatAM. I tried to. And when we moved back to California and lived with my grandparents, that became a little bit more difficult, because me and my sisters and my mom all shared one room. And since I was sleeping on this end, it's like I was sleeping on this end, the TV was on this end, I couldn't really watch any of the episodes the way I wanted. And basically, I would have to, and at times I did succeed, have to sneak out of the room quietly, go into the kitchen, watch Sonic SatAM, and then turn it off and quickly head back to the bedroom. Now I'm not going to deny that there weren't times where I was caught, because I was. The only time that I think I ever had a successful chance at it without worrying about being caught was when my grandparents would leave the house to us, and they would go to Lake Comanche for about a week or so. So, yeah. Basically, when they were vacationing and we were left in charge of the house, that was the only time without any problem I was able to ever watch an episode. But then, due to personal reasons and for my own well-being, I was sent back out to Kansas to live with my dad. And that's when I was able to catch up with all of season 1, and even recorded onto VHS, because my dad had bought a VCR at a pawn shop. And for about the first, I would say from, July to October of that year, I'd say around midway October, November, I was able to record all the episodes, a majority of the season 1 episodes, and all of season 2. Season 2, I took a page out of one of my cousin's playbooks, because he would record all the episodes of X-Men, all the seasons, onto one tape. So I decided to do that with Sonic Season 2. And the only episodes I missed out on were Game Guy, that was one, and the other episode being well, the rest of season 2. Between Game Guy and the rest of season 2, the episodes I the episodes I did record was Sonic Conversion, No Brainer, the initial airing of Blast to the Past 1 and 2, the first of the 11-minute shorts featuring Antoine, Dulcie, and The Void. Those are the only episodes. Everything else I missed out on because I either overslept on the premiere of season 2, or because of the fact that after The Void, the VCR me and my dad had decided to take a crap on us. And not only did it decide to take a crap on us, as I check my battery life here, not only did it decide to take a crap on us, but basically, I had to watch I did watch the episodes when they initially aired, but I couldn't record them. So it would take time before I'd finally get the complete set. How I did that, long story short, is I got in contact with fellow fans like Rafaela XD, Jay Foxfire, all of them, and I was able to get these episodes on either VHS. VHS was the first one, and I think I got a majority of the rest of season 2 through that, and then through Rafaela XD, I was able to get the rest, if not all of the complete series of Sonic SatAM on VCD. So yeah, I was able to get VCD copies of the whole series. And what I did with those VCD copies is, when I had the opportunity, and this is I think when I lived on my own, I had a DVD recorder, one of 3 initial DVD recorders, and they were Apex, that's what they were called. And I used, I think, the one that lasted me the longest out of the first 3 I had, to record off my DVD player, which played VCDs, all of the episodes onto separate DVDs to kind of give myself a sort of pseudo complete series set. I even did a best of Sonic DVD where I took the best episodes of SatAM, Underground, and X and put them together. Now, that kind of satisfied me for a bit, and through various times I would try to take the final 4 episodes and even Blast to the Past and combine them together as one movie, but editing wise I kind of screwed up a little bit, did the best I could. That is until we got to 2007. Now this is months before I moved back here to California. But basically the announcement was made that in March of 2007 we were going to get the complete series officially. Now before that, of course, we did get the series somewhat on DVD. And that was this. 2004 we ended up getting this. This had episodes of Sonic Racer, Sonic Boom, I believe, Sonic and Sally, and Super Sonic. And along with it was the bonus episode Sonic and the Secret Scrolls, which you could access by playing and passing a trivia game featuring Inspector Gadget. So this was the only copy that we had DVD-wise until 2007 officially. But then again, it wasn't so much official, but it was kind of like semi-official. Here's what I mean. Basically, Lionsgate and Trimark, who was the video distributor, I think at the time for Lionsgate, got in trouble with Disney. Disney still owned the rights of the DIC Entertainment library of all those shows, including Sonic SatAM. So basically, Lionsgate and Trimark did not have permission to distribute this DVD, so it was taken off the shelf. I was fortunate enough, along with a lot of other people, to, gain or get the DVD before that happened. And then, like I said, it wouldn't be until about 2007 that we'd end up getting the official set, courtesy of Shout Factory, which, oh, by the way, I have 2 copies of. One that I've used and one that I still kept sealed up for 13 years next month. 13 years sealed up. It still has the sticker and everything on there, which is pretty impressive. Now, I bought other copies as well, which I sent to, I think, my cousins. I sent some to Jay Foxfire, Raphael XD. A lot of that. And a bit of a thank you for helping me out in the past. Now, what's interesting about this is when I got this DVD, is I'm still checking the battery life here. What's interesting about this when I got this DVD is, for a while I tried to think of a way of how to maybe record or compile together as one the final episodes into a movie. I didn't do that until about, I think, what was it, 2000. Did I put a number on this or something? Well, it wouldn't be until about, I think, 2012 or something like that. 2011, 2012, 2000, around, I would say the mid 2010s, put it that way. It wouldn't be until around that time with my Sony DVD recorder that I took the opportunity to basically very carefully take the final 4 episodes and put them together as a movie. Basically, long story short, what I did is I did the intro and the title card for the Doomsday Project, and then as soon as it faded to black, I went to the main menu, went to Cry of the Wolf, let the intro and the title card play through, and then after that, when it faded to black, that's when I unpaused and we went and just went from there. Basically, it acts like it starts right with Cry of the Wolf, but it has the Doomsday Project title card before that to act like a movie. So that's basically why I entitled it the Doomsday Project Movie. Now, I sent copies of this to, like I said, the other people that helped me out, like Jay, Foxfire, Raphael XD. I sent one to Zara Nizarak, Sean McLean, to Rob Thomas, aka Bob Show. So, yeah, so basically I gave a lot of them a copy as well so they can enjoy it as, you know, as is. And in fact, Zara Nizarak even pinpointed that that's how a lot of people, even himself, took some of the multi-part Transformer miniseries that ran throughout Generation 1, and, you know, basically they did the same thing. They would compile them together into like one movie so they could just sit back and enjoy it. So that was one way that I showed my fandom, my love for the show and everything, by not only purchasing multiple copies of the complete set, including having one still sealed almost 13 years later, but also by finally, in probably the best opportunity I can, or best effort I could, compiling the final 4 episodes into one movie with the Doomsday Project movie. Now, of course, I ended up getting the Sonic Mega Mix, which took some episodes from Sonic SatAM, that being Ultrasonic and Supersonic, and compile them into that as well. And then, of course, like I said, I had the poster, which was hanging up here, but thanks to the fact that those, those challenge clips or whatever they're called, those little self-adhesive hooks that you buy, that you just put onto the wall, no nails required kind of deal. Yeah, basically I had that up for a while, and then the adhesive let loose and it just fell. So now the poster's in the garage until I figure out another place to put it down the line. But overall, my love for the SatAM franchise, if you will, and I'm just checking my battery life again, guys. But my love for the Sonic SatAM franchise is, you know, I think is equal to a lot of people's love for it. I mean, I even went as far as to basically buy this for around $250 off eBay. This is an original Sonic and Sydney plush of Sally Acorn, officially licensed by Sega, and you could see that right there. So yeah, I've had this since I lived in Kansas. $250. And why? Because it's a rare Sonic item that you can't get anywhere else. You can't. But anyway, check my time, my minutes here. Okay. So I'm gonna have to wrap this up, guys. But I just wanted to give you guys an example of, in response to the other videos as well, of how much Sonic SatAM as a franchise has meant to me as a fan, and how far I've gone as a fan to kind of showcase that love for the franchise. So anyway, though, guys, I recommend checking NezumiVA's documentary on Sonic SatAM. I recommend checking out RobTheWonderful's video on it, his cartoon clip show, that is. And that's about it. So I'm gonna turn this off now, guys, and recharge my battery. But thank you all for watching. I just thought I'd give you a bit of an example. Also, check out my Sonic SatAM retrospective, which I have help and a contribution from Jaimitude, aka James Sullivan, who also talked about this on a episode of the Crazy Cartoon Podcast with Animat very recently. Well, it's not the retrospective he did for me, but basically his love for Sonic SatAM and the characters. So with that said, though, guys, thank you all for watching, and hope you guys enjoyed this. Sorry I have to end it quickly. The battery's about to die here, but that's about it. So take care, guys. Let me know what Sonic SatAM means to you, how far you've gone.